Shalom. Shalom. I give all honor, glory, and praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, Shabbat Shalom, QADASH. They were understood the elders and apostle great millstone, for teaching the truth and sincerity, citation to the hope for the expert of the forgiveness of earth. Alright, so the title of this lesson is going to be going to go into the judgment of the wicked as God. This is going to be a part 2 because I ain't finished it. I ain't finished my part 1, right? It was only 22 minutes, so I ain't, I ain't want to end on a bad note. So I'm just going to continue with my with the judgment of the wicked is God. I'm gonna start in Psalms, or nah, I'm not gonna start. So I'm gonna start in Isaiah. All right, let's start off in Isaiah. All right. No, I'm not African. To Kaylee, not African. I'm an Israelite. Not African. I'm not African. The African's a continent. Okay. Ultimately, it's the land of Ham. But this culture of the Esau, he changed that. Really, the word Africa, it goes back to the Hamites, land of Ham. Okay. So not Africa. Not a continent. So, um, like I said, judgment and wicked now. There's gonna be Psalms 32. Now I'm going here in Isaiah the 44. I can find it. Isaiah 66. Isaiah 66. It reads, Isaiah 66, chapter verse 1. It says, thus says the Lord, YAHAWAHSHI, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house that ye build unto me, and where is the place of my rest? Right, the Lord, you can't build a house. These different temples, these so-called churches, okay, these different synagogues as of today, which are known like the Methodist Church or the Baptist Church, these different Roman Catholic churches out here, right, where they think they're worshiping the Lord. Okay, we're really, that's about, as I said, the Lord, I'm talking about the YAHAWAHSHI. They think they're worshiping the true power, YAHAWAHSHI, the power that reign in heaven. In these different churches, right? The Lord, he don't dwell in those churches, right? They're not worshiping the Lord. They're worshiping false God. They're worshiping Caesar Borgia, which is a rapper Christus, okay? Um, and he has no power, right? You know, Cypress Christians don't have no power, right? In these different churches, right? Or just in general, right? Because he's false, right? He don't exist, right? The rapper Christians that we see is Esau, right? The Caesar Borgia that we see, is Esau, okay? You know, you know who Esau is? He's a so-called. He Esau. He was he's a son. Ultimately, he's a son of Jacob, right? In the Bible, right? And he came out red, right? Which red, it ultimately goes back to his skin, right? His skin tone. His skin tone was red, right? Today, he like we like to call them the so-called white people, right? Because the white people, when you look at white people and when you look them up, You know, they have a red. They're like which go back to their blood. Ultimately, you it's like their bloodstream or their blood veins show through their skin, right? So which why the Lord, gave them the name Esau, red, right? You know, but the really Esau is referring to the so-called the top bankers, elite, the wicked, right? The wicked, right? Because we know that everyone that look like the so-called white person, the so-called white people of today, right? They're not really their spirit doesn't go back to the seed of Esau, or yeah, the seed of Esau, right? No, really it goes back to go back to Israel, right? Their spirit, ultimately their spirit, right? Okay, so Isaiah 6:1, as I read, and where is the place of my rest? Right, the Lord, He doesn't, He's everywhere. Okay, He dwells in everyone and everything. Okay, for all those things have my hand made, and all those things have been, said the Lord, Shabbat, to this man where I look, even to him that is poor and of a contrite spirit and trembling at my word. Right. The Lord, His spirit is upon those that is of a contrite spirit, those that tremble at His word, not those that walk around proud, right? Walk around thinking they don't need the Lord. They don't need the Lord, so I think they can make it what, Lord, trusting in their oppressors, right, rather than the Lord, right? The Lord, He's not gonna look upon them. Meaning what? That in the day that we're coming to, in the day of judgment, guess what? The Lord, He's not gonna, the Lord, this is a, only selective people of the nation of Israel is getting saved, all right? If you're not the candidate, okay, if you're not a candidate, for the you are you have to be predestined ultimately. But if you're not a candidate for salvation, okay, you know that we're being called is like it's like you're a candidate, right? You know, in the sense of let me let the word candidate, 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 if I can pronounce the word right, candidate. The meaning of candidate, candidate, right? It means is one that aspires to the one that aspires to, or is nominated or qualified for the office. Okay, right? So one or be one likely or suited to undergo or be chosen for something special. Right. And this what brothers and sisters being called to the truth. Ultimately we're suited to undergo or be chosen for something special, meaning what we're called, right? You know, we were predestined for the foundation of the earth to be called, and guess what? And we were predestined for the foundation of the earth to be called, and ultimately, be a candidate, right? Because think about all the people who are, right? They're the Lord. He looked upon them, and He didn't see them as being a candidate, okay, to ultimately receive His word and to go and to bear His cross, okay, to bear that cross, right? You know, to be of a contrite spirit, meaning go back to King David, right? King David and his brothers, right? When the Lord told Samuel, okay, ultimately, um, not, was it, yeah, I believe it was Samuel. No, not mistaken. Um, it would be hard for me to find. Right, going back to King David and his brothers, right? When the Lord um was trying to find a when the Lord had when the Lord looked upon his brothers, basically when the Spirit of the Lord looked upon David's brothers, right? Um, they wasn't suited, even though they had their outward appearance, right? It was it this world look at it as it qualified for the position, right? Qualified for the job, but guess what? That inward spirit, which what the Lord was looking upon, it didn't qualify, all right? They weren't what they wasn't a candidate in the eyes of the Lord, okay? You know, because they wasn't like they wasn't like contrite spirit or a humble spirit, right? They wasn't meet, okay, for the position or the office, right? Like David, um, and David, he was more suited, right? He was a candidate, for the office, right? For the well, position that the Lord wanted King David to be in, right? Just think about that, okay? We are candidates, right? And ultimately, the Lord is looking upon us, right? And through the power of the Spirit, we pray every day that constantly, we constantly, have that contrite spirit. We constantly have that humility about us, right? That we constantly tremble at the work. We don't never want to be proud. We came out of the world, right? You know, the world that we came out of, right? This wicked world, right? You know, this wicked world, this place of judgment. Ultimately, we came out of this world spiritually. You know, our flesh is still in this world, but we came out of this world spiritually, right? And since we came out of the world spiritually, that means what? We put on a new man, a new spiritual mindset. Okay, one that is not proud, one that is not all into this world, right? One that's one that's more, contrite, one that's more, seeking the will of the Lord, Yabashasha, okay? He that killeth and alts, this is Isaiah 63, he that killeth and alts is as if he slew a man. He that sacrifices, he that sacrifices a lamb as if he cut off a dog's neck. Okay, he that offered an oblation as if he offered swine's blood. He that burneth incense as if he blessed an idol. Yea, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delighted in their abomination. Right, this is referring to what these wicked Israelites, right? Because we all went off ultimately, But this is referring to the nation of Israel, right? And the Lord complained their sacrifices as if, he looking at as if like it was. Like, for example, they killed an ox as if it's a little man. Right, He that sacrificed a lamb as we cut off a dog's neck. Right, that's how the Lord looking at these different sacrifices because guess what? You know, why in the Lord, I won't say this, but, in this, through the Spirit of the Lord looking at this like, you're doing you putting up these different sacrifices, right? These different lambs, right? You offering up lamb sacrifices. You're fluent. You offering up these different lamb. A lamb, for example, just take a lamb for example. The Lord, you offering this lamb, but when you offer the lamb, you go back to doing your wickedness, right? You know, and the Lord just comparing Israel, sacrifice as a lamb, but they just continue to cut off a dog's neck, right? That how because you'll never a dog's neck, right? You know, which is a domestic, it's a, it's basically, the analogy is that, it's horrible. You won't cut off no dog neck, really, right? You just won't go out cutting off a dog neck for what, unless you're a heathen, okay, right? And a dog, ultimately, a dog is not, it wasn't meant to be sacrificed, right? A dog is not part of the nation of Israel sacrifice, you know. So, the Lord, he doesn't. So yeah, so basically, the Lord, he doesn't. He does basically the Lord, he didn't delight, right? Lord, he wasn't pleased with the nation of Israel sin offering, right? Because they would go back committing their wickedness. They would go back, just go back, just doing wickedness, right? It was pointless, okay? Because they're so delighted in their abomination. They're so the nation of Israel. They're so delight in going out. They're so delight in wickedness. They're so delight in worshiping and following the ways of the heathens, right? You know. I will also choose I will also choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before my eyes and chose that in which I delight not. Okay, right. They did evil in the eyes in the they did evil in the eyes of the Lord. Again, like I was saying, worshiping other gods, right? You know, committing whoredoms in the temples, right? You know, making the Lord jealous. Okay, in which I delighted not. Okay, you know, it shows that in which the Lord delighted not. Okay, because the Lord, the Lord, what do He delight in, right? Right. If we know what He don't delight in. We know what He dislikes are. He dislikes are Israel breaking His commandment, Israel breaking His word, right? Israel worshiping other gods. So what do He like? Okay, what do He delight in? Right. He delight in, the fear of Him. Okay, what the fear of Him and the fear of worshiping Him. Right. A spirit that fear Him, and a spirit that you know truly and sincerely follow Him, keep His way, keep His word, right, keep His commandments, right. You know, remember the Lord, he likened Israel to a comely and pleasant woman, right. A comely and pleasant woman, right. You know, is one that's a Proverbs. I think Proverbs what Proverbs what that Proverbs 31, I believe. Yeah, Proverbs 31, right? A virtuous woman, okay? You know, a Proverbs 31 woman would have this mindset, right? Proverbs 31:10, it reads, it says, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies, right? You know, a virtuous woman, right? A calmly ritual, in simpler terms, a calmly delicate woman, right? One a woman that respect herself, a one that ultimately a woman that respect herself, and a woman that, which means what? A woman that will she will wear her head her head her what you call it, she will wear her head, she will cover her head, she won't wear anything she won't wear anything, um revealing of her what's it call it, she won't wear anything revealing of her skin, basically her flesh. Okay, that's another word I'm looking for though. um but and she will ultimately honor her husband, right? She will honor and worship her husband. Okay, the heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. Okay, she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Okay, that's a virtuous woman character, right? A virtuous woman would do what? She would do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Meaning what? That a virtuous woman, right? She will be by her husband. She won't commit adultery. She won't go after no. She won't worship no other man. She won't follow the other man, right? You know, she won't think to do anything wicked behind her husband back, right? she seeketh wool and flesh and worketh willing with her hands, right? You know what? She sew, okay? You know, she be making garments for her husband, right? You know, she be doing work around the house, okay? You know, okay. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make is that the Lord, the Lord, just reading here Isaiah 66, right? Um, how the Lord, the Lord, how the Lord he will mad at the nation of Israel because this nation that's supposed to be as a virtuous woman, they're supposed to have virtuous woman characteristics, right? In the sense of not doing evil, okay, not doing anything wicked against the Lord Yahweh, right? You know, respecting the Lord Yahweh, honor the Lord Yahweh is going off, right? But every time they go off, they'll try to sacrificing a lamb is like going to a woman going to her husband saying, "Please forgive me," right? And then going back behind her husband back after she just said, "Please forgive me," and her husband forgave her, going behind her husband back and then cheating on another dude again, right? Or doing something wicked again, right? So the Lord he got fed up with it, right? And he said, "Did why he said now Isaiah 6:4, I also would choose a delusion that would bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear, but they did evil before my eyes and chose that in which I delight not. Hear the word of the Lord, ye that tremble at his word. Your brother that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, Let the Lord Yahweh be glorified. But he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed." Right? Those that tremble at the word of the Lord, those that hear the word of the Lord, right? You know, the Lord when he comes back in his second coming, right? He gonna appear to us. He gonna be our joy, right? We're gonna be giving praises, right? We're gonna be wanting to get saved, right? But to those that cast us out, because we trust in the Lord, because we trust in the word of the Lord, right? They're gonna be ashamed, right? You know, the apocrypha goes into that, right? Wisdom of Solomon. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna get here. I'm gonna go from here to Isaiah 66 in the 15th verse. It reads, "For behold, the Lord Yahweh, he will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with the flames of fire." Right? So the Lord, he coming back to judge the wicked. He coming back with his chariots. Okay, those so-called UFOs, which Esau named an unidentified flying object, which they are identified flying. They're IFO. They are identified flying objects, right? Those are the chariots of the Lord. Okay, you know something that Esau mind can comprehend, right? He can comprehend that technology that can move at the speed of sound, basically. I won't say at the speed, not even at the speed of sound, at the speed of light. Okay, you know when you look up, it be standing, it be hovering over you, okay, and when at 1 second, then you look down, you would try to look up again, it's not even there no more, right? You only hear it, okay, you only hear it because it moves at the speed of sound, okay, but the Lord, the time we're coming to in the day of the Lord, you are going to see the chariot, you're going to see the chariot, you are going to hear the chariots, right? You're going to hear it. You're gonna hear that destruction. You're gonna hear, the Lord, the Lord voice, right? You know, um, the Lord battle, the Lord battle cry. Okay, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire, right? So the Lord, he's mad, right? He's anger, right? He's a anger, he's he anger at his chosen people, you wicked Israelites. He also anger at the heathens, right? For what they did to his chosen people. And just being wicked, right? You know, and for being proud, right? You know, because they need to know too that it's the Lord that reigning in heaven, not Jesus Christ, right? Not Buddha, not Allah, right? It's Yahweh, right? So that's why the Lord gonna bring that judgment too, right? Because the Lord, he gonna make his name known throughout heavens, right? Known throughout the earth, right? Meaning what? That the heathens, right? That once feared the Lord, okay? When you go and do this, right? That once feared the Lord, okay? Back in the ancient time, right? The Lord, he gonna bring that spirit back on them, right? To fear him. And that what they gonna do, that what they gonna do, right? They gonna fear the Lord in the kingdom of heaven, okay? They gonna fear the Lord in the kingdom of heaven. Said, this is Isaiah 6 and 16 reads, for by fire and by his word and by his sword, where the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord should be made right. The Lord, he gonna plead, and by fire and by his sword, where the Lord pleads with all flesh. Remember that fire represent what? That thermonuclear fire that coming when this nuclear world war breaks out, right? And that fire coming from the church, okay? Right, that's the Lord's sword, right? He gonna play with all flesh, right? Whether you're a heathen, whether you're not a heathen, right? Whether you're an Israelite, of your chosen people, or your chosen nation, or whether you just a heathen, okay? You gonna get that. The Lord, he gonna judge the righteous and the wicked, okay? All gonna receive judgment, right? Whether you did right, whether you did good in this flesh, or you did evil in this flesh, right? You know, I mean, the Lord, he's gonna respect persons, right? And the judgment of the righteous is gonna be what? You know, it's always with them them receiving salvation, right? You know, the Lord, the scripture speaks about how the righteous is not gonna get the judgment of the wicked, right? Just like the wicked is not gonna get the judgment of the righteous, right? You know, we just know the judgment of the righteous is gonna be what? The scripture speaks about, consider how the righteous should be saved and not how the wicked should be judged, right? But but so yeah, the righteous gonna be saved through the church, okay? And they'll get changed. Their body gonna get changed in twinkling eye. They'll be the first fruit into the kingdom of heaven, right? You know. But we just this the whole point of this lesson, the judgment of the wicked is not just to remind these devils and just remind to you, to you brothers and sisters that watching my lesson, right? That don't think that we're gonna go on for 3,000 years, right? Because this is a spirit that these other Israelite camps trying to put out here, that we're gonna continue in this wicked world for another decade, basically, right? You know, and don't and to get into ultimately get out the mindset of thinking that you gonna continue to go to your day to day, we're gonna continue to live the day to day life as normal, right? You know, that we're gonna continue to just live day to day as normal, right? No, right? We're coming to times where there gonna be judgment, right? Sometimes where the wicked, the wicked only rule it for a short period of time, right? Just let that sink in your head for a minute. A short period of time, right? Not for a million years, right? They're not rooted for eternity, right? The revelation goes into that. Okay, how the wicked, how Esau, he was set to rule for a short season, right? He's rooted for his short season, right? Okay, he's not rooted for eternity, right? You know, but yeah, all right. What was I about going to now? Um, mm, fuck it. But yeah, the wicked, they're just yeah. This is yeah. I forgot. This is a year. Remember, this is the elder apostle Tar. He coined this the year of the judgment. the year of our destruction, the year of our deliverance and the destruction, right, and the judgment of Esau. Okay, basically the judgment of the Esau, which one is basically the judgment of Esau, which is the judgment of the wicked. Okay, you know, so this is the judgment we're living in. Hopefully, this is a hopeful year, the judgment of the wicked, right? And there's signs and there's signs and there's signs, you know, and prophecies that's happened that is because there's no way that prophecies are happening right this fast, right, in this time of year, right, and these other, if I can put out a message that we're gonna go on for another 1,000 years, there's no way, right? The MOTB is already here. Basically, the MOTB has been here, right? The RFID, the Revelation 13:16, where it speaks about that Michael see him, that's already here, right? I think either Sweden, I believe it's Sweden, that already have majority of their people chipped. Okay, Michael see him, right? They have the RFID. Okay, so so we're just ultimately waiting for this to be made mandatory on a larger scale, right? In the USA, right? That's all. You know, remember the Lord said that. But we know that world. So these are the prophecies that had to happen before the judgment of the wicked officially comes. Ultimately, that MOTB I mean get made mandatory before World War III. Okay, for the nuclear destruction. After the MOTB made mandatory, right? Basically, so ultimately, in order for that to happen, the whole this whole economy system, right, that we have got to collapse. It got to collapse. The dollar bill got to go, right? It got officially collapse, right? You know, in order for that MTB to be rolled in, right? After that is the third woe, the nuclear destruction. And after the nuclear destruction is the Lord gonna come in between the midst of that, right? And the Lord gonna deliver His people, right? You know, and you're gonna be, and through that you're gonna be persecution of the persecution of those that fear the Lord, right? Remember that's prophecy, that's prophesied too, right? But we gotta keep our faith, you know, to the end, right? And that's why we're building up our faith by you know these lessons are meant to build up our faith, right? It's meant to ultimately, you know, it's meant to, it's meant to prayer, you know, through prayer, you know, and through these lessons, it's meant to build up it's meant to continue to build our faith, right? You know, and it's meant to continue to ultimately, you know, it shows our faith to the Lord, right? You know, I'll get Romans 1:27. Romans 1:27 reads, and likewise also the man leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in their lust one towards another. That's not the one I wanted. Um, Romans 1:28 is what I wanted. Says, and even as they did not like to retain, so 27 is basically going to I can read it. Romans 1:27 says, and likewise also the man leaving the natural use of the woman, right? Because leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in their lust one towards another, man with man working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meat. Right, which the different diseases, right? Judgment, ultimate judgment, getting put to death, right? The Lord, He judges these different happy communities out here, right? These ABC communities, He judges them, right? You know, and even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not covenants, right? You know, because they didn't want to hearken to the word of the Lord. They didn't want to repent, right? You know, they just wanted to continue to do their wickedness, right? You know, they didn't want to truly submit to the Lord, right? You know, so what the Lord gave them over to that wicked demon, to that wicked spirit, right? You know, the Lord, His Spirit can delight in a spirit that's wicked, that's a spirit that's leaving the belief, that's completely going off, completely doing wickedness. He can't work in no spirit like that. Okay, he can't look. He can't. No, he can't. Just can't do it. Said being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, right? Whisperers, backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, right? You know, putting up these different putting up false gods and worshiping them, right? You know, disobedient to parents without understanding, covenant breakers without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of the Most High that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them, right? You know, they have pleasure to do wickedness. Our people have pleasure to do wickedness, right? That's why when they see, brothers, teaching, right? When they go by brothers teaching, they like to either mock, they like to scoff, right? Or they ultimately don't even, they just turn their ears, right? You know, they just turn their spirit away from the Lord, okay? You know, because their flesh delights. They can't submit their flesh. They're not disciplined. They're not disciplined um to submit to the Spirit of the Lord, right? They're not disciplined to give their spirit over to the Lord, right? They need to give their spirit to the flesh, right? And the Lord, ultimately, the word of the Lord is what is cut their flesh, right? It cut their flesh literally. Not, I don't say literally, but it cut their flesh spiritually, right? You know, and they can't take it, okay? So they give their pleasure to evil, right? You know, they can't. It's hard for our people it's hard for our people to ultimately obey the word of the Lord, right? Because ultimately we're in a wicked body, right? And we're our mind is or the mind that we have now, which represent our heart, which represent our mind. The mind we have now is a mind of stone, right? A stony mind, a mind that don't want to hearken or obey the word and the commandments of the Lord, right? But in the kingdom of heaven, we're gonna get a heart of flesh, right? A mind of flesh, a mind that will be willing to receive and obey the word of the Lord. Then it goes into that. The scripture go to that. That's that new body, right? So Proverbs. I'm gonna get Psalms 32 and 10 before I close. I'm gonna get Psalms 32. I got three more scriptures before I close. Psalms 32 and 10. This is Psalm 32 and 10 reads, uh, it said, many sorrows shall be to the wicked, but he that trusteth in the Lord shall mercy should compass him about. Okay, many sorrows should be to the wicked, right? Many sorrows, many deaths, right? Many pains, right? Uh many calamities, right? You know, many evils, right? Many sorrows go. Sorrows mean loss, right? Sorrow mean pain. Sorrow mean evil, right? You know, torment. Okay, torment, torment is coming, right? Torment is ultimately coming, okay, to the wicked, right? You know, many sorrow, many afflictions, okay, many afflictions. And that's the judgment of the wicked. But he that trusts in the Lord, mercy should compass him about. Mercy should compass him about, meaning what? Mercy, the Lord mercy gonna be a bountiful on him, right? The mercy of the Lord gonna be a bountiful on him. The mercy. So when that righteous when that righteous man followed, the righteous man followed 10 times, but get back up, right? A true righteous man, a true sincere man, the Lord, Yahawashi, he will fall, okay? He might fall, he might spiritually fall, okay? But guess what? He gonna get back up. He gonna continue to worship the Lord. There's many accounts, okay? You know, of the ancient, righteous man of the Lord falling, right? You know, but guess what? They didn't give into their wickedness, right? You know, take people like David, okay? You know, David, he did what he did, commit adulteress, right? Um, but guess what? He didn't go commit more adulteries, right? You know, the Lord, he got judged, right? But guess what? He turned back to the Lord. You know, he repented, right? He gave, he repented, he turned back, right? You know, he got up. Okay. So this is why going back to the mercy should compass him about. Okay. The mercy of the Lord compass David about, right? It was a bountiful, right? You know, if you are Jay and you just continue to do wickedness, right, and don't care the world, right? Don't expect the mercy of the Lord gonna compass you. Don't expect the mercy of the Lord gonna compass you about, right? You know, expect judgment, right? Okay. Psalms 34:21 says, "Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate." Okay, evil shall evil shall slay the wicked. Okay, evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. All right, evil gonna slay the wicked. Meaning what? Evil is represent death, right? And death is going to slay the wicked, okay? And those that hate the righteous should be desolate. And those that hate the righteous are going to be desolate, going to be destroyed, okay? Go close here in Proverbs 16:4. Says the Lord has made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for their day of evil. Right? The Lord has made the wicked for their day of evil. Right? And the day of evil, the judgment. All right, that's where we're coming to, right? You know, Jacob trouble, right? So for the Lord can judge the wicked in Jacob trouble, right? In the day of the Lord, there'll be a huge amount of judgment to the wicked. Okay? So I'm closing here by giving all the praise to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahshua, BAHASHAM, to the next time, say shalom.